Okay. It says sending data. Sending data. Am I close enough to the mic? Do I need to sit up? I know, sure. Good morning. It's Monday, the 15th, Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Uh, I was never allowed to celebrate it as a child. I had to celebrate Robert E. Lee's birthday. Because there's the same day. I was never allowed out of school for Martin Luther King Day. But I was allowed to miss school for Robert E. Lee's birthday. I'm an adult now, so I can celebrate Martin Luther King Day. So happy Martin Luther King Day. Here's the Dr. King. I believe there is a special on either Netflix or Hulu called MLKX that I'm planning on watching. Looking forward to checking that out. All right. Well, let's babble away here. Oh, look. Can't see me, but you can see my hand. All right. We can do that. Oh, we can do whatever we want. Excuse me. Good morning. You know, maybe I'm not cool enough to have that SBTV thing. Let's just do that. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me, oopsie daisy, there we go. No, dude, how about this? How about this? How about this? There we go. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I am, let's see here. Empty roads. Good morning, Sophia Makmirdikogal. Makmirdikogal. Bach buddy. What's up? Empty roads today were first clues for me. That was yeah. I was surprised the pharmacy was open. I had to go try to get my prescriptions filled, and I knew it wasn't going to be a whole lot of people working, and they were slammed, so I'm going to have to go after the broadcast and pick up my meds. How's everybody doing? Had some chat in the Discord last night. Grief. Lost another great Louisiana legend. I'll show you a little clip of Band of Sinners playing the quintessential Cajun French waltz Jolie Blanc at the Roots Revival concert 2017 I think. But first, this is a YouTube page called In Theta, and I put a video up there called Me and Travis McGee. This is one of the ones that I re-uploaded. There's not much of Travis. You can go watch his interview with Aaron, and it's very good. It's definitely distinguishable from other interviews because he's very reserved, and kind of like an everyman interview. So at the time, I felt when I watched it, I was like, like I learned some things about how he experienced it that I didn't even know. And shortly after he did the interview, we did this broadcast, and it was long before it was super easy to do it. But there was live chat. It just didn't show the uh, chat in the video. It wasn't integrated. So there's that video. There's now there's all the missing videos, the chronicles, creative processing, and then anything also appears on stuff that I've done with other folks that asked me to come do stuff, and then some of the stuff I do in the gaming community. And my other channels, this is Delta Gold Media, and I do a broadcast every Thursday of mostly Louisiana music, but I know people everywhere, so if I get permission to play their stuff, they're not, in a contractual obligation, and they have control over their own music, then I play it. Got some local New Orleans artists. Got some artists from Nashville, artists from Las Vegas, Los Angeles, London. So a nice little slice, little multicultural radio program. No ads. And then there's this is some new clips from the Fleur Brothers, which is the band my brother and I started with. The last record we did, Pain and Suffering, which is on there if you want to listen. You can listen for free. We did that album in 2020 and 2021. This is the studio network that I am a technical advisor for, called Octane Sound. And I have tutorials for nerdy stuff, like how to work the boards. And I have a gag reel from some of the voice actors. I have different productions from different years. Here's some from 2007. Here's some from 2012 and 2019. And then I have a couple of live streams on how to use this board in front of me, and I have a sound design session. Then I have a general feature, what is Octane Sound, and that's that. And this is my gaming YouTube channel, and there's some podcasts that I did about Fallen Earth, which had an interesting. It's still around. You can still make a new character and play the game. But there was a researcher who, by the name of William Sims Bainbridge, who played the game for 7-8 years doing research. So I was doing research on sociology. What's interesting about William Bainbridge is that he was one of the two people who infiltrated the Process Church and got extracted because it was considered to be too dangerous, and the APA and the AMA were like, yeah, you can't do that. We don't want y'all going, we don't want health professionals or college students going into potentially coercive groups to, quote, study them because they're too dangerous. Too dangerous. So, and I did I'm doing some stuff. I've been doing some stuff for years. Some of this years old. But this is my gaming channel. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption, and that's what I do to have some leisure time. And then this is the performance of Jolie Blanc Uh, from 27. Let's see what year it was. It was uploaded 6 years ago. So that's what. That would be 2018, but the show was on Thursday, April 21st, 2016. And we're playing with Joel Sonnier, Creole Grammy winner. And he had a, I mean, really all you need is one good song to hit. And yeah. So he had one of these actors from the 80s in his music video, Tear Stained Letter. I don't know if anyone knows that song, but we're playing Jolie Blanc. I doubt this will even get acclaim because back then all of the Creoles claimed everyone else's music. It was originally published or played and recorded and then published by a publisher by the Hackberry Ramblers. Here we go. And I'm on the bass. I'm all the way on the stage left. Let's see if you guys catch any of the subtle. Hey, Whitney. Good morning, Born Ancient. Good afternoon. Okay, from North Wales. Well, all righty. Well, I'll be fucked. Well, I'll be fucked. Okay. Should have sound. Let me go all the way back to 0. All right. Make sure I'm broadcasting the correct thing. Yep. Okay. Enjoy. Jolie Blanc. Gotta move that mic, me. So that's me on the left, or right below me, and then just to the left of me is my buddy Charles Lyons. They call him Skeeter, and on the drums is Daniel Fontenot. They call him Sheep. This is Chris Kershaw from Dog Hill. This is Corey Lambert. Lambert. That's how they pronounce it now, but I think it used to be Lambert. And then Adam Truard. And of course, the legendary Joel Sonnier. Pretty flowers, you're the queen. just a consummate professional. He walked right over to talk to me. All right, so grieving, got a whole community of the music community. You know, is oh man, it's when we lose these icons. I don't know how else to put it. 'Cause he's an icon. Um, it changes the scenery of the music, not just the music community, but the music itself. So certain music just won't ever be played the same way again. Performed. I mean, there are a lot of nuanced things I could pick that video apart, but I did a couple of clips, and I posted them in the Discord. Let me post a link to the Discord. Here we go. This mouse keeps wanting to fall off. Invite, copy, pasta. Where is this? We go here. We do that. Yeah, so I do like 5 channels. You know, this stuff is, I'm not trying to like cross everything over into one thing. That's why I got 5 different channels. But as I live and breathe, I do all 5 things. So sometimes there's a little cross contamination. You'll get some music on my trauma community channel. That's what I hold space for, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Just, Jesus, for the, for everyone that has gone through the shit that Scientology can put you through. And moreover, really, really bad coercive control. You know, at a certain point, when you're in a group like a high control group, you might as well consider it your family. And so if there's abuse happening, you might as well consider that domestic abuse. Am I right? If I'm right, you know Chad did it. Old callback. Babbling away. There's a clip I did where Doug says, Marcus, babble away for a moment while I look for this resource. And where is that? And it's going to be Control F, Babble. Oh, it's not going to find that, huh? Just going to have to scroll down. I can't reach the mixing board right now, so I'm not leaning forward. I had a procedure done last Thursday, and my back is just, it didn't seem to do any good, honestly. Let's see here. I haven't gone back and started continuing to clip, but I guess this would be, yeah, Reasonably Intelligent was the first one. Babbling away. Here we go.
Marcus, babble away while I try to pull this up. And
that's what I do. Okay, I'll just babble away.
Well, just say whatever you have any
yeah.
comments?
So this
Marcus
is funny to me because when we were on the air and off the air, is pretty much the same, but I guess it depends. I watched the eulogy that H.G. Tudor did. I watched it I listened at 1.5 times speed, and I thought it was nice. That's the second one that I watched. I watched Trinity's first, and then I couldn't really watch much more for a little while. So I watched H.G. Tudors, and thought it was interesting that a self-proclaimed malignant narcissist would do a video about Doug. Now, obviously, if you know a little bit about narcissism personality disorder, like that can happen uh, because there's something to be gained from it, like views or, you know. But if it's a true narcissist, like it would be doing it for their own good, not for Doug. Um, I don't mean it as a slight, but yeah, narcissism personality disorder. Like if it, you got to meet 5 out of the 11 criteria. Oh, that's funny because there's 11. I see 11 people in the chat. But I believe it's 5 out of 11. It could be 12. Um, hey Sandy. Hey Lydia. Um, rabble babble ring a ding dong. Oh, huge volume difference. Uh, hmm. All right. So was it two? Was the which was louder, Lydia? The is the voice louder or is the recordings louder? Because that I have control over right here. I just have to lean forward. I can do it from the computer too. Uh, yeah. What else did I have lined up? I mean, my procedure, they put me under for a facet injection. And I had an experience, I don't know what it was. It could have been the drugs, could have been my brain, um, it could have been something else. And I question all of it. So it was a pretty intense experience. Um, and upsetting, very upsetting, because I mean, if I take it at face value and all the shit I've been told, then I would be like, well, I almost died and I had a near death experience, and okay, I didn't die because they would have to tell you. Um, I know that the propofol and the Demerol and there's another drug they put in the concoction. The propofol will just like basically tell your amygdala to chill, like stop, and that keeps you from moving. It's a paralytic. Uh, so, uh, or in combination with the Demerol, whatever the case is, there's paralytics going on. So there's that. Um, then there's also the Demerol, which could cause hallucinations. And whatever the other drug, I can't remember. If there's anybody that knows the name of like a typical uh, a typical put down cocktail when you go in for surgery. I know, okay, the recordings are louder. I got you. I had turned them up during the broadcast Thursday because I haven't even gone back and watched it because Thursday I had the procedure. And Thursday I came home and did the broadcast after this crazy, weird, fucked up experience that I had. And the experience was I was just in this black nothing, and I saw a light. Oh, I saw a light. Now, was it the light from the doctor, the big hexagonal light that's super bright? Yep, could be. Was it what you call it? Fluorescent lights up top? Could have been. I don't know what position I was in. I mean, I don't know any of that. It was all black. And there was light, and I wanted to go. I wanted to go to the light. The light was like beautiful. The light was like eternity, peace. It just seemed like the place to go. And Valium, is it Valium? Because I knew it was. I knew. Well, I didn't know for sure. That's why I asked. But I figured it would have been a benzo of some type. So that is a hell of a cocktail. You get propofol, like a paralytic, an opiate, and a benzodiazepine, heavy dose, high grade, straight into the IV. I was also had been on antibiotics for 12 days, doxycycline. Whitney says maybe talk to Duncan or Marilyn. They want to talk about near-death experience as well. I don't know if this is one, okay? So here's the thing. I've been taught so much wrong shit when I was a kid, and I believed it was right. Like I started out today. Today is Martin Luther King. It's Martin Luther King Day, all right? And, you know, when I grew up, it was not okay to celebrate Martin Luther King Day in our house. And, you know, he threatened that if Mark, I was too young to date, but if Mark or Maynard brought home a black girl, he would kill him. So, the way I look at it is I've been taught so much wrong shit. And then I went out, I got emancipated at 16 and started working, and I'm a kid. And at 19, I moved to Nashville, and I start doing what I want to do. My dad's encouraging me. You're good at what you do. Do it. And I was able to work my way into the production side of the music business there. But then I joined Scientology, and then I learned a bunch more wrong shit. And I believed it was right. So when I think about this experience that I just had Thursday, I can't help but question it. Everything that I question my own thoughts. Everything I've, not everything. A lot of things that I was taught were very wrong. And I believed them to be right. And then it happened again. And yeah. So near-death experience, I don't know. For all it could have been just a hallucination. It could have been the effect of the amygdala and me sort of waking up, sort of, and the amygdala and the brain is trying to make sense of what's going on. So it's like, well, near-death experience. Because every bit of information we get has a bias. So, I'm not saying it in the negative way, like, oh, that's biased. No, it's just bias is a neutral thing. Until it's not, then it becomes a different bias, like confirmation bias. A lot of the behaviors that you see in control groups is just like these accepted biases, you know, compendiums of biases. And everyone accepts them wholesale. And they make their choices, decisions, judge their own actions based on their biases. So, Saw the light. Wanted to go. Couldn't move. Was it the fact that there were what I thought were people holding me down? Well, that could be the actual nurses. It could be the doctor. I guess you could interpret it as if, if I thought they were people and I saw a light, that those were my family. And no, you can't go yet. And I just couldn't move. And I was pretty aggravated. Now, if you're getting a needle stuck in your back and your nerve burned, I think you'd be pretty aggravated if you were aware of it. So perhaps that's the explanation. There was no time, sense of time. There was no time. And it was very peaceful. Now, it could be the drugs making me feel that way. And I got so fucking frustrated at a certain point. It's like, just let me go. I'm cool with it. I really want to go up to the light. I'm cool with that. I hear, but there's no sound. But it's very clear, this message. Oh, you got a whole nother life to live, son. And then I'm up. I'm awake in the fucking recovery room. And I'm not feeling so great. I'm pretty irritated. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm looking at all this like I don't have it in me to do a whole nother live a whole nother, you got a whole nother life to live, son. This is the part that, could have been manufactured in my imagination. Because I had a dream a couple weeks earlier where my father, who passed away in 2010, was hugging me and just didn't want to let go. And when I woke up, I was kind of like bummed out because I didn't want the dream to end. And I just wanted to go wherever the hell he was. And leading up to the procedure, I thought about that dream. Man, that would be fantastic. I'm looking at the chat now. Let me catch up. Oh, goodness. Hey, Beach. Good morning. It's January 15th, 2024. Time is still a week. Like, I was talking to my cousin Annie last night about this experience, and like time just doesn't, it's not, what it feels like to me is coming down off a big, like, heavy heroic dose of like hallucinogens, because like real life just doesn't seem real. Time is like, okay, time, it's an illusion. But yes, it is Monday the 15th of 2024, for whatever that's worth. And you said, sorry, I'm late. Hi, everyone. Timing is everything. You're right on time. I'm assuming Lydia's comment about how I grew up and Martin Luther King Day and all that is what you're referring to when you said, oof, that's so wrong. Yeah. And Whitney said it was the same in the town I grew up in. So bad. Yeah. Sandy said, in 1959 in kindergarten, made a friend. Didn't know she was any different from me, but the teacher split us up. Wasn't until I saw old school picture and saw her, oh my God, childhood blindness, so precious. Yeah, kids don't. It's a bias. It's a racial bias. Um, some would say it's an aesthetic bias. Um, it's fucked. Uh, Makmir Tikogao, the troublemaker, Grandmondit. It would be interesting to see how different NDEs are between people socialized around Christianity and people who were socialized without it. Yeah, and I've been so Ira was a agnostic, um, and my mother was Catholic, and my father was Catholic, and so both sides of my maternal and paternal side were Catholic. So yeah, there's lots of narratives, about uh, and even stories and interactions with the other side. Um, even agnostics. Ira looks at red birds, cardinals, as a symbol that someone that he knew that passed is around. Now he doesn't get super spiritual about it. He just looks at the bird. It's actually very physical. It's like there's a red bird, then someone is visiting us. Don't know who. He sometimes would say it was Aunt Sis because Aunt Sis used to say, "When I die, I'm gonna come back as a red bird." But that's like part of their, uh, yeah, that's part of what their essentially their culture was. Uh, it would be interesting to see, yeah, how different the NDEs are. And there's a lot of accounts now, and there's a whole YouTube channel that's like blowing up. Got a whole bunch of NDE experiences, but it would be nice to see sort of like a rap sheet, like, ideologies throughout life, things that could affect how you would perceive what we call an NDE. Something that would sort of fill in the blanks, color by numbers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to believe in something, but I have because I have been taught so much wrong shit. I question it all, even my own experience. So, uh, Whitney, mine was my grandma. Her face in purple mist said to fight. Yeah. I had something during my divorce where I was laying in bed exhausted, and it could have been fatigue, and it could have been that I've been smoking for pain relief, whatever. Could have been just a hallucination. But my friend Charlie, my grandmother, my papa head, and people were standing around the bed and just praying for me, for lack of a better word. I don't know if they were praying, but like there was these figures, and I was not. It's not like my eyes weren't open, so I was in some other state of sleep probably. Um, yeah, I was very grumpy. I'm still grumpy. I'm still kind of grumpy. I ain't even gonna lie. Y'all say, well, Sandy says it sounds like NDE for sure. Someone else said it too, I think. Um, and I wouldn't be surprised because I did not feel good at all. And I told him, like, look, I've been on antibiotics for 12 days. These things really do kick my ass. And I've done 2 shows in 6 weeks and have been driving a lot. And I was really tired and quite exhausted. And and then also on top of that, the antibiotics. So You know, I figured if they're gonna do it, and I have the chance, like if there is something, like I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go. Like peace out. If there is anything, and there was something, but it was just hallucination. The drugs. The maybe my brain went just was a little bit of DMT. I don't know. But I I really was upset with the whole comment at the end that was like pretty resounding in my head. No, you got a whole other life to live, son. Huh. It was crushing. Hugs to Sandy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I don't discount NDEs at all. Like, there's some really amazing accounts. I discount my own experience because everything I've been taught, seems wrong. So I question my own thoughts all the time. Question, 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 question. Am I really feeling it? Is this really what it is? Or is it a bias? Because there's bias everywhere. It's a bit neurotic. I ain't even going to lie. It's a bit neurotic. With culture, this is Grandma D. Makmir Dikoga. With cultures closer to nature and death as part of life, it's probably better acknowledged. But since Christianity is such an integral part of Western culture, most NDEs are influenced somehow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the nature is quite indiscriminate. And I guess being with in all the comfort that we have, it's easy to, and like you said, in addition to, you add to that the effects of Christianity, which I'm not saying are wrong. Like there's plenty of truth in everything, even in Scientology. You can't get that kind of cooperation without some truths. I just don't think you can get people to do it without some actual truths because, you know, to be cliche, the truth sets you free. If you get a little bit of taste of what, some truth and a little bit of freedom from it, then you might be willing to go along to get some more. And I think that every religious group has truths in order to get people to go along to get whatever their aim and goal is. Just enough truth, it's an old concept. It's just enough truth to, dangle the carrot in front of the donkey. BRB, sorry, I am on train home. Well, don't worry about it. You don't have to apologize. This is babbling. Just babbling away, as Doug would say. Yeah, I think I'm getting close to doing some more clipping. I grieve as I go. I'm grieving as I go. I don't do the 5 stages of grief. It's funny. Someone linked me a podcast that talks about and references books about how the 5 stages of grief like aren't necessarily helpful for everyone. Understanding those different states of emotion is good, but grief is goes on forever. I'm still sad about my first friend that died. I still have grief. It just transforms, and so as it comes up, I deal with it. And by deal with it, I mean I experience it. I get sad, and if I have anything nostalgic I can look at, I look at that or watch it, or read it, and you know, it really just depends on the what. I guess it depends on what my capacity seems to be at the moment. You know. Bye, Sandy. Oh, cool. That's great that you have someone to come take you on your errands. Whitney. Okay. I understand, Marcus. I was taught to pronounce Grand Prix and Grand Prix by my parents who thought it was funny. A really nice person corrected me. Grand Prix. Well, me and my buddy Nate drove around in a Grand Prix smoking lots of weed. Makmir Dikogal, Grandma D. I grew up moderately Catholic and heard so much crap about how death supposedly felt like and supposedly is as a child. I will acknowledge that I can't have an independent indie ever. Right. Right. Yeah. You know, the Native American culture is so diverse, from tribe to tribe. And the concepts of, life, earth, animals, any kind of spiritual stuff is tied. It seems to be tied to the earth. And you know, it seems to me like if the earth was a living thing, and it could be. I mean, there are some. I'm not saying they're like popular theories, but they're popping up. Ideas that the Earth's actually one big organism. It's a little like makes me want to turn my head and like I want to know more, but there's not much to know yet. I guess I read what I find. Scientific American is probably my favorite source for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, essentially, like humans are great pollinators. We go all over the damn place, but we also destroy a lot of shit. But if let's just say the Earth was a conscious living thing, it would be in a predicament right now because if it got rid of its best pollinators to save the environments, then the environments couldn't survive because the pollinators have already done so much damage to them. So it's better to keep them around, the humans that is, than it is to get rid of them. It's a catch-22. Okay, well, Sandy left a minute ago. Beach. I like the way Cynthia says bitch. Or beach. Bitch! Sophia, I was given a heaven at some point in my life, and who knows what tricks the subconscious will play on us. Yes, subconscious is very powerful. Definitely. And I know that. And that's why it's so frustrating because, like, what did all that experience mean? What do I take from that? I got a whole nother life to live, son. You got a whole nother life to live, son. Like, that's what I heard before I woke up. I cried and shit. Like, I got upset. And also, I was having to breathe manually quite a bit after the procedure, which is annoying as hell. Like, the only way I could, like, lay down, the only way I could, like, auto breathe, which is what we normally do, it's a mix of automatic breathing and like, conscious breath, was if I laid down, but I wasn't really tired and I couldn't sleep. So, I was automatically breathe. I mean, manually breathe. And so something with my respiratory probably. I mean, if nothing else, it was, it was anywhere between mild to severe respiratory depression, I would say. Oh, now this is a good comment. Whitney, who works in AI, in my opinion, the subconscious is the reason why AI will fall short of actual human intelligence. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, do you is it what about AI that gets connected with other AI, and then like you have what would be the equivalent of bit rot, if you know that term, if you're working in IT, but in AI, like AI bit rot, maybe that could become some form of subconscious for an AI, like just all the bit rot laying around. That's kind of horrifying to think of because it's essentially just like, old dead useless code. And for an artificial intelligence to start saying, well, I have feeling, I have it, but it's coming from AI bit rot. Be like, what the hell kind of shit do you believe? AI? What does that look like? Gaia hypothesis, everything is connected. I'm not familiar with the Gaia hypothesis. That may be what I was talking about. Um, Good morning, Brian. Como ça va? I think it's earlier where you're at. It's probably 10, yeah? I'm just babbling away. Hey, Marcus, babble away. Hold on, I want to play that again. I love that shit. Okay, here we go.
Marcus, babble away while I try to pull this up. And
Oh, that's what I do? Okay, I'll just babble away.
Well,
I miss this motherfucker so much. I missed him before he was gone. And so, the near-death experience, whatever you want to say it was, I don't know that's what I had. I don't fucking know. I wish I could say I knew. I wish I could say, yeah, I had a near-death experience. I wish I could say, my dad told me, and my dad was saying, no, you can't go yet. It's not your time. There's too many people that need you or whatever. And you got a whole nother life to live, son. and that everyone else was there in support of him, all those that have died before me and my ancestors and all that. I'd love to be able to say I know that, but I don't. To me, it's like equal probability that that was just my amygdala going, you can't move, and the Demerol going, whoa, trip out, bro, in conjunction with, because they're benzos and opiates are potentiators of each other, while unconscious, and the only part of me that could really do anything was my subconscious, and so, you know, with the dream that I had and everything else, like it would, like, it's just a story, but I wish I could say it was real. I want to believe it was, and that sort of makes me think of last year on the 31st of January. Did some interviews with my brother, my cousin Matthew Moore, who we had just finished his record. Rick Nelson, who produced my record, and he and I co-produced the Matthew Moore's record. And John Landry, who was the photographer for the interviews, and the videographer for the interviews, and also the record. And he did Matthew's album cover. Rick has an interesting past. When he was a kid at his local church, the preacher blew his head off in front of everybody in Texas. He was molesting kids, and he went in front of the whole congregation, and instead of because he was going to get caught, and they were going to press charges and all that. So he just went in front of the congregation, blew his head off. So there's a couple of clips that well, there's one that I can show, and there's one that I can't. I don't have releases from Rick to talk about that experience just yet, even though it's a year-old footage. I told everybody, like, I'm not gonna use this for anything. The final product, in other words, they'll have a final say, so you can use that or not. But this one is really good, and it's related to believing something. And what harm there is in it. Where is there harm in believing in certain things? So, I'll play the song "Purpose of a Preacher" because this is essentially the inspiration for it. The thoughts behind it. So this is Matthew Moore talking about him going to a mega church with sort of well, I'll let him tell you. It's 1 minute and 41 seconds.
And then the message behind it. I mean, like Rick talked about, it is an interesting story. But that was decided to go to a mega church in Houston and just go and see what that was about, not for any reason other than curiosity. And I sat in the very top of their large stadium-style seating.
Stadium, yeah.
Yeah.
The Jumbotrons.
Yeah, because the message behind that isn't supposed to be this, fuck preachers and fuck that. It was sort of an exploration in why some people feel as if they need that. I did think of it as some sort of altering of reality, but I think I went into the megachurch a little bit, not skeptical, but sort of aloof, and how looking down on it a little bit. But there was a part during the service where the underprivileged, the physically disabled, the psychologically disabled walked up for healing, and I just lost it. That was a powerful moment for me, realizing that, is it really that bad of a deal to obscure your reality if this causes you comfort in this life that already is extremely painful, just for existing, just existing as a human.
And I feel like that is a really great point to make. But I also can see that he struggles with it, as I do, and I know he does because we talk about it. So I'm gonna play the song "Purpose of a Preacher," um, and y'all can have some music to drink your coffee to. Good morning, Brian. Hope you're doing all right, man. Do-do-do-do. Like I have so many windows. There's the chat. Lydia's catching up. Joe's here. Hey, Joe. Comment ça va? Catching up, catching up. Okay, here we go. Purpose of a Preacher by Matthew Moore.
Reality's the base in which I start construction. I surround you with walls to help lessen your suffering. And when it gets cold and you're wondering how you're surviving, I place you in my mouth and I coat you with saliva. Reality's the knife that cuts your hand instead of your potatoes. It's that unnecessary level of pain when your toes kick your bedpost. So I tell you a good story that helps you explain it, and I shield you from the truth and its loose graveled edges. I swallow you whole. I'm the master creator of all things benign. I'm doing no harm, I help cushion the ride. So when you get cancer, I'll say you'll be fine. 'Cause you actually are in this moment in time. Well, aren't you still eating and breathing for nourishment? What good is the truth when it lacks the encouragement? And when you're losing your eyesight slowly over time, I tell you to pray so you don't go blind. I swallow you whole. I swallow you whole. I swallow you whole. And I'm not not the first, and I won't be the last. Reality's the devil. I'll shield you from that. I swallow you whole. I swallow you whole. I swallow you whole. And reality's the base in which I start construction.
So, yeah, some words from well, my cousin, same thing. Very Catholic. It was a big Catholic family, so like I didn't even know, get this, I didn't even know he was my cousin until we started making the record. Oh man. We found out in the middle, it was like, he said the last name, he's like my mom, so Parity. And I'm like, who Parity? So I called my mom and I was like, you know a so and so Parity? Yeah, that's my cousin. That's your cousin. So yeah, middle of the record is like, oh wow, cool. We're related. But there's some lyrics in there. Well, all of his lyrics, I love. I love his sarcasm and his sincerity in the same breath. I love that he's able to do that. That's really good writing. And I feel like he makes a really valid point about, is that so bad to believe in something in a life that by default is like just painful? You're going to suffer. It's going to be painful. And then it'll be over. But in the meantime, like, is it so bad to have a belief? When he was saying that when he saw the faith healing part, which Gromodi Makmerdikogal said he doesn't like snake oil people. Well, this was a mega church, so like you would have definitely saw like this is a snake oil type situation. And those people that were doing the faith healing, yeah, probably, I think of the Righteous Gemstones. I haven't even seen the show, but like I get the whole thing because Tammy Faye Baker up in Nashville was the same type of deal. But the people that went to them, it was their belief that someone else could heal them and make them feel better. It had a what's the effect called? Placebo effect. So even if it's a placebo effect, he's taking a position saying, well, even if it is a placebo effect, like, what's so wrong about it? Now, obviously we know because of the, the abuses that go on, Catholic Church, Scientology, Pentecostals, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, all this stuff, these things go on. So when it gets to that point, yeah, it's not, yeah, it's then it's not worth taking that position over. But if a person is just going there for their own spiritual edification or whatever, fulfillment, then what the hell is wrong with that? What does it say here? Let's catch up. Neighbor's a plumber. That's convenient. Brian. Joe Spring. This is really lovely. Oh, I'm glad that you liked it. That's Matthew Moore. The whole album is fantastic. Oh, shit. Did I drop it? Let's see. There we go. That's the link to the album if you want to save it. The whole album's good. I guarantee. It's 1 degree here in Bloomington, Indiana today. I went too far. Okay. Hope you're all warm. We've gotten all the way up to 3 degrees this morning. That's Amy, Jean. And y'all be talking. Joe, I have faith in the human feisty spirit and resilience. Faith doesn't have to be religious, and understanding that helps have a different mindset around faith outside religion. I agree 100%. And I feel like just sort of I don't know, if you were naturally born into, say, the swamp, like I would be, little swamp people, around the life and the death, cycles, there would be, there's what would you call it? Of the spirit? There is a life in the woods. There's life in the plants. There's life in the water. There's life everywhere, but there's also death. And so like meanings can get constructed. We have these stupidly large brains that can do things that we probably ought to not be able to do, but we are able to do them. It makes things complicated for some of us. Not all of us. Louisiana being Louisiana. That's what you get from your Zen practice. Oh, that's cool. I sit. I do a lot of sitting. Yeah. That's all it is for me now. I did some practices. I did some transcendental meditation. I did some, I did some Buddhist type meditations. I do Qigong. I used to do Qigong, but I can't seem to get the movements lately. It's very relaxing, and it seems to sort of get especially in the morning, getting the blood to all of the organs and stuff. Like it's a wonderful practice to just get the blood to all of the organs quickly. And I did some impermanence meditations, and after those, I just really just sit. Now I just sit. Lotus, just sit lotus. That's what I do. To the best of my ability. My back is like painful. Cold snap, where Lydia's at. Man, y'all got some low temperatures. What is the temperature where I'm at? Y'all gonna hate my ass. It's 60 degrees here. 60 degrees. Yep. Oh, Tolkien was a Catholic. Untainted faith is a good thing. That's an interesting thing. Untainted faith. Can you be an untainted, faithful person? Yeah, I think that my dad was close, but there's some, the nuns that were at the schools kind of tainted things. Um, when I was at the school, they really were bad. I imagine they weren't much better when Dad went, but maybe when they hit kids, it was like they were telling them like some of the positive things, like beat the positive into them, not the negative. Like you're stupid. No, that's bad. Okay, well, um, like say a kid punches another kid, and the nun comes and beats the kid. Don't hit other kids. Don't be mean. And maybe the kid learned. I don't know. In public school, the kid, yeah, we had to teach each other the lessons. Mm. Bullies had to learn their lessons by people who were tired of watching them bully people. Placebo effect has been proven to be sound scientifically. Yeah, of course. Went outside today, breathed in the woods, and felt what others proclaim to feel with a God in their life. So we all got our non-rational stuff going on. It shouldn't hurt and affect others. Okay, cool. Yeah, true that. Joe, sorry, I talk too much. No, you're fine. Talk all you want. I'm just babbling away. Hold on. I'm going to play it again.
Marcus, babble away while I try to pull this up. And
Oh,
ask
that's what I do? Okay, I'll just babble away.
Well,
Oh, God, I missed that motherfucker. Okay. So, people dismiss the placebo effect. Oh, that didn't work. It was just a placebo effect, but it is a real thing. Someday maybe we'll figure out how to actually use it somehow. Um, oh, good, Joe. You're gonna listen to that. Please do. I'm not gonna say it's like a happy, upbeat record. Uh, this was one of those things where it was like he squeezed his heart like a lemon, and we recorded it. Somehow we captured it, and all of those songs are based off of like personal experiences, which is why I didn't see him for a long time. We used to play together in Lake Charles. He kind of disappeared. There was a bunch of stuff that happened in his life. It was very dramatic. Imagine a naked tree in fog and no scientific explanation, and you get a lot of the Celtic and Norse spirits explained. Yeah. Totally. I mean, when I look in the swamp, I look in the bayou, I see God. For damn, it's so beautiful. It's just like this magnificent one thing. It's not, yes, it's all separate things, but it's all one thing. It's all connected. And being in nature uh, is yeah. Some people don't like being in nature. They'd rather just be in the house all the time. I mean, I spend more time inside than I do outside. And even if I went outside, the environment that I'm in is a city, metropolitan city, um, civilization. Well, when you go out just a little ways, you know, I mean, I don't know how much landmass we populate, or how much square mileage or acres, or however you want to measure it, humans take up on Earth. But there's still a lot of room after you consider that. Imagine seeing volcano erupting thousands of years ago. They needed a reason for nature occurrences. That's a really good point. you want to understand, so you have somebody explain it. Someone says, well, the volcano erupts because there's lots of sinning, or, you know, prior to Christ, you know, they see a volcano blowing up and they're like, oh boy, we did something wrong. Maybe. Or could be that maybe it's like a warring culture and they're like, now is the time. We've got the sign. We need to go invade these other people and take their shit. We have permission from the earth, from God itself. I don't know. Yeah. I am with you, Makmir Dokigal. I'll take freezing over warmth any day. I'm hot-natured. Like, I'd rather be cold than hot. I'm acclimated to heat, but I hate it. And I've had heat strokes. I can take the heat, but man, I don't know how much longer. And I am hot-natured, so being in a climate that's dry and cool is preferable. But I don't get that because I live in a swamp. It's wet and hot. Getting wetter and hotter. Violence is not a solution. Shouldn't be beaten into kids to work. Yeah, I agree. That's another from the Grand Maudit Makmir di Kogal. Yeah, God is angry. Is easier than understanding scientific processes. Yeah, of course. It's a calm force casually doing its thing with the elements in nature. Yeah, I know you like the temperature here. Dead girl. I'm going to play another tune from the show, January 5th. If you haven't already watched it in the Discord, I posted it. Where do I click? Because I can't reach the board. Here we go. This shouldn't be too loud. I think I fixed the volume. Can you let me know if I fixed the volume when I start the video? So that was from the 5th of January. There is another video we did from there, or that I edited. Go check out the like and subscribe and all that stuff. Hit the bub-a-dub-a-doo, gurk-a-durk-a-turp-a-tur. Smash the likes and blah blah blah. Ba-dee, ba-doo, and click in the thing and click the thing, and don't forget to click a thing. Where's the comments? There was something. Einstein, Joe Spring. I'll attempt to pronounce this. Agathocacological. As Einstein said, separation is an illusion, although a very persistent one. Yeah, so my experience last Thursday, there was no separation between anything. Now, again, could be brain, could be drug, could be, but it also could be something else that we don't know. Like that's the, yeah, to assume that we understand everything, that's just so arrogant. Because we know next to nothing. I forget who said that in an interview. We know someone was being, it was a scientist or somebody, some important opinion leader. We know next to nothing. So, there's also the possibility of something else. All of those things, the drugs, the brain, could be involved in that something else, but there also could be something else. So, yeah. And I think the disassociation is sometimes tricky to distinguish between that and the feeling of bliss or zen. Harmony or peace. The dissociation. Which can be, achieved through the use of other drugs too. Like, maybe I ought to just, instead of going to get my back worked on, go take some DMT or drink some ayahuasca. Have a better experience. Something that I'm a little more in control of. I don't know. But it's comparable. The whole thing was comparable to, like, is there still a come down? It's like a really heavy come down. Whew. Oh, the roofing team is here. That means no nap for me. Great. I gotta go get my medicine. Beep beep boop boop. Woohoo! Oh, lordy. So, Joe Spring, agathocacological. Agathocacological. I have the experience of no self quite often. I've been disassociated. They feel very different to me. One feels sort of dead, and the other feels like ultimate liveliness. Yeah. Um. hmm. No self. Yeah, that's. One feels sort of dead, and the other feels like ultimate liveness. I said it perfectly, and it's such a great word. Yeah, I forget what it means. It's a real word, ain't it? Though, a cac or agathocacological, gatho. Yeah, there we go. Meaning. Here we go. Let's word clear. Here we go. Were you a Scientologist? Good Lord. All right, composed of both good and evil. Yeah. Right. Aliveness. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I recognize that it was a word. I just didn't remember what it meant because something about the word. I was like, I know that word. It's not gobbledygook. Like this person didn't just make it up. This was defined in first known use is 1834, meaning composed of both good and evil. And I can just imagine that in some like pamphlet about Jesus or something, to sound smart, like the church had smart people in it, and you should listen to them, and because you don't want to be a gathacacological about it, do you? Don't be a gathacacological. Just be good. No evil, no sin. Without a without a Catholic, that is hard. Okay, you're right. I think I did it perfectly the first time. It's repeating it over and over. Say it 3 times fast. Agathocacological, agathocacological, agathocacological. I did it. You got any more for me? Along with your shit. Okay, so no self. You've had no experience, no self. Humans are agathocacological. Yes, we are agathocacological creatures. Oh, goodness. Hello. Joe Spring. I have the experience of no self quite often. I've been disassociated. They feel different. One feels sort of dead, and the other feels like ultimate aliveness. Well, from what I experienced last Thursday, that was ultimate aliveness. It didn't feel like death. That's why I was pissed off when I woke up. This feels more like the rotting body. This feels more like the sort of dead, sort of alive. A cathological. I have to come up with another word for sort of alive and sort of dead. Is there one for that? Because there's one for good and evil. Is there one for alive and dead? Laughing is good. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm much happier to laugh than I am to be crying on a broadcast. But I'd be crying on broadcast too. Shit be sad, bit rot. You just caught that, Whitney? Or are you making a comment? Oh my goodness. Yeah, think about it, Whitney. Like AI bit rot in the next 10 years. Like, so what we've got now is an AI, because this happens on like a network scale now, where you have degrading networks and degrading infrastructure that is being replaced with new stuff. Bits and bytes get lost, and it ends up as bit rot, and it can be caused by literal hardware problems or just the information being what do they call it, through collisions. I always say collusions, and people are like, it's not collusions, it's collisions. Okay, so data collisions. So imagine that with AI scripting or coding, however that works. I actually don't know. Yeah, okay, a ton of your code is already in bit rot state, but still wired in. See? Oh, man. So, okay. Imagine that your code, you already got code that's like bit rot state. Imagine that in 10 years and that becoming somehow like through preservation of code that the AI may have. Does AI have any self-preserving code? That's a question that I would have. I would assume that it would, even if it was a transformer. I'll just wait. Imp. Oh, impermanence is the only thing that gives anything meaning, so we have to find gratitude for it. Yes. Yeah. And gratitude. Yeah, absolutely. And I was feeling pretty grateful until recently. I'm like, man, shit. Oh. And to go on without service with people, and it's just like, the lifespan, the average lifespan of somebody that categorically fits what I do and have done or whatever. Short lifespan. But that doesn't mean I won't live a long time. My papa did not have a chance either. He got kicked in the head by a donkey when he was 5. His brain was hanging out. They thought he was going to die, but he survived. And lived to be 98 years old. So, yeah, moribund, that's a cool word. So the teams do not remove, only add. Not good hygiene for AI. Clean code written like old days, streamlined. That is... So do you see how I could bring that point up? Like, you could have a bunch of leftover, like enough. If nothing's being removed and yeah, hygiene, cleanliness, whatever. Because if you're talking about AI, you're talking and intelligence, where you're building something that will ultimately, or you are going to hopefully ethically move forward point to point to make sure that you're not building an intelligence haphazardly that could, with its bit rot, develop its own ideology. Because intelligence can do that. Teams do not remove only, okay? No self-preserve. Okay, unless security is self-preserve. Okay, that's good. I mean, I say that's good because as you develop the AI, like you don't want it to like you need to do iterations. Um, it's a refine. Yeah, it should be taken as a refinement process. I think to be responsible with it. Um, we're talking about something more potentially deadly than the A bomb or the H bomb. Um, yeah. I don't mean to sound alarmist or anything. I'm not anti AI or anything. I actually think AI is really cool. Um, Joe Spring, Agatha Ecological. I'm a writer and retired editor, by the way. Words are sort of my thing. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Did you self publish or did you work for a paper or a organization? Some broadcasting? What kind of publishing? Writing? That's cool. Whitney, yes, I absolutely see it. Plus, all the devs like to put in their Easter eggs. Oh God, no, no, no fucking Easter eggs, man. That's how you get John Williams and da 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 da. Then we're gonna need Arnold to save the world, and he's getting old. I don't know if he can do it any more times. You know, we can't ask him to save the world any more times. Hey, yay. Right now, AI does not have. I'm just going off of what's catching my eye. Does not have defense mech built in, so not at all like a human, right? Funny enough, I just troubleshot. Okay, and then I'll jump back up. Joe Spring, his father was one of the first COBOL programmers in the States. Computers were gigantic, yeah, size of whole rooms. And COBOL is still used in government contracting, well, at least as I know of in 2016. When I still hold my license, Schedule 70, but I don't do nothing with it, and I don't have a job, so can't really work either. Yep, they're definitely here. Roofers are here. If you hear banging, that's what that is. Witness. Well, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, she works in AI. So, kind of cool people hanging out. Bitch! AI would want to develop its own ideology, surely, unless you program in morals. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, there is a delicate thing. There's some delicate. There's this requires delicacy, and people who are just like wanting to make money, hand over fist right now to have emergent technologies, so that businesses can take advantage of and expedite and if make more efficient their organizations or their businesses. Man, that hurt. They blew my vein out. They sure in the hell did. Whole damn vein. Damn, I might have a big bruise. It goes all the way down to here. Fuck. God damn. I just popped my wrist and saw the bruise there, making me nauseous. Mainframes are still around. Yeah, there's a mainframe in Lake Charles at this whatever bank it is, Capital One Bank. Dad got offered all kinds of jobs he didn't take because he was retired in '99. He would always laugh. Make sure that happened. Yeah. Whose morals should we use? Yeah, right. I don't trust people. It's not that I don't trust AI per se. Shit. Oh. Okay, well, I'll play the other song and then that'll be that. Just babbling away. Fuck it. This is radio friendly. This is a song that me and my friend Charlie wrote. It's the last song we wrote before he died.
Something's wrong with the way things go. It's this life so
Da, 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 da. All right, so hi. I'm trying to do an album every year till I retire. That's the plan. Yeah, yeah. Live long and prosper. Y'all have a wonderful week. I hope everybody here has a great week and stay warm. Take care of your pipes. And be safe if you're, having to go anywhere in this kind of weather. Catch you next time. Live long and prosper.